then you'll have to pull this rubber plug off of here, and there's a little Schrader valve in there that you'll have to push in, and then it lets air get into the VST. And
okay.
And if it's going to be, you know, just a couple of months usually at a time, then I wouldn't recommend. You don't have to disconnect your fuel line, but if it's going to be, you know, extended periods of time, you're going to want to disconnect your fuel line, because gas always seems to get back in there.
Right. Okay. So I just crack that, or do I have to take that out?
I believe this one has a little. I don't think you have to take this one all the way out. I think just
unscrew it a little bit.
Unscrew it some, and I think it's got a hole in it. And
should I go ahead and, once I've done all this, start the engine and run all the gas out of it, or how do you? What do you do?
Well, as soon as you start it again, unless your fuel line's disconnected and you have all the fuel out of the front of your boat, it'll fill back up.
Okay, so that's all we need to do. And what you're saying, you pop that off?
Yeah, pull this. It's just a rubber plug.
Okay.
And then inside there's just like on a bicycle. You just push it in.
Push it in and crack that, and that's all it needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking 2-3 months at a time.
Right.
In all honesty, with these things, at 2-3 months, anything over 3, I would just stabilize the hell out of the fuel all the time before you go.
And not worry about it.
And leave it be, as long as it's not pushing over 3 months. I mean, if you're getting up 4, 5, 6 months, then yes, it has to be drained for sure. But, but you know, 3 months at a time, we have people leave their boats for 3 months constantly in our racks because they hardly ever use them.
Right.
And the people who don't use them often, just stabilize their fuel really well.
Yeah.
I mean, don't go by mixing directions, double what any of them say.
Really?
Because they're liars.
Okay. Would you get the marine grade or the red?
Yeah, I get the. I just use Yamaha. It's not very expensive. It's good stabilizer. It works good. That's what we use here.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know, the stable stuff's at the store, right? You know.
I'm not a big fan of it. It's alcohol based, and you know, with today's fuels and stuff, it ends up making your fuel lines hard.
Okay. So Yamaha makes a stabilizer?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Stabilizer Plus.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, like I said, it's not very expensive, and
yeah, for the end result.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
exactly.
it sucks if this thing gums up, right?
Oh yeah, when your injectors and your VST, especially on these, on the 150s and the 200s and 2 1/4s, it's not as bad. It's a lot easier to get to it.
Yeah. Okay. But that's it. Just crack that and pull that plug out and push it down. Yeah. And you can just do that with a pair of needle nose. It just pops out.
Yep, just pulls right out. And,
okay. Okay. And as far as disconnecting the fuel line,
I disconnect it from right. When I disconnect them, I disconnect it from right here, and then you always want to put a plug into this fuel line right here.
Okay.
And because, like I said, gas will come out of it as it heats and cools throughout the day.
Right.
You don't want gas running all over everywhere. I usually stick a spark plug in it, but I've always got spark plugs on my golf cart. So.
Right. But that's just snipping that
tie wrap and popping it right off.
Yeah, it just pops right off, and that's it.
Yeah.
Now, going on to the fuel filter side, I don't have to do anything?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll usually, I'll put like when they're gonna sit, if I take it off, I'll put a 1/4-20 bolt in there just so a mud dauber doesn't go in there, and I'll just slide it in. But as far as plugging it off solid, I just put something in there, so
gotcha.
So the creepy crawlies don't
go
in.
So that's the fuel line right there. Okay, that's it. That's easy now.
Yeah,
I got it.
It's pretty easy, but like I said, 3 months at a time, I would just use some extra stabilizer and.
Yeah, I mean it may be more than that. I mean we're gonna have somebody down here at the end of June, and then July,
November,
August, September, October.
Unless we come in September, we can try for Labor Day.
After that. So, anything over 3 months. Got it.
Then I would go ahead and drain it.
Okay. And if you drain it, go ahead and disconnect the fuel.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I needed. There's some stuff. I'll just give Ivan a call. We got some